Hi guys, it's Krishanti with Krishanti.com talking about psychic development, spiritual and personal growth, and sometimes relationships. And in this video, I'm continuing a discussion about how to get someone off your mind when you're just really obsessed. You can't stop thinking about them. It consumes your every waking moment, and you know it's not healthy and it's not good for you. And the reason why I'm talking about this is when I learned how to do readings, I had no idea what people would be coming to me to talk about. I just thought it would be so cool to learn how to be psychic and to help people. And when my first actual job doing this was at a healing center where people were coming every day for readings. And the number one thing that they were asking about, first of all, it was mostly women. The number one thing these women were asking about was how to stop obsessing about guys. So I created this program, Get Him Off Your Mind, chock full of tools and tips and exercises to help women through that process. Men do it too, but for some reason I got all the women, and so I made this program for women. And one of the things that is very interesting that often comes up in readings too as a way to help people stop being so into another person is to focus on their flaws and the things about them that aren't so great. What tends to happen is when we think about someone, we only see them in this positive light. It's sort of one-dimensional. We see them through this lens, this filter, this angle, and we can only think about how much we want them and how attracted we are to them, and we think about how amazing they are. If we don't hear from them, we're imagining they're doing amazing things. It makes me think of, I don't know if you know the comedian Amy Schumer. Yeah, it was her. She made this funny video about a girl like obsessing over a guy, like I think they talked once or something, and the next thing you know, she's like sampling wedding cake, and she's imagining their whole life together and thinking about him and everything. And basically you cut to him and he's like playing video games with his hand down his pants, grunting and eating, junk food and crumbs everywhere, like a Neanderthal. But she's like wanting to marry him. She doesn't even really know him. But that's kind of what happens. We might think we know the person, but we don't know the subtle intricacies of what they're really like and how they would even really treat you in a relationship. And so we build up this really beautiful, wonderful, energetically charged image of who we would like them to be and what we've seen from them. That people don't usually show you their bad side at the beginning, but in a reading, like I talk about that, and that helps to a degree to get people to sort of calm down and neutralize and then detach. So if you are in a predicament or a situation where you know it's not good for you, but you kind of just can't stop, and so many people go through this. So do not at all, please, please, please don't make yourself suffer. Don't beat yourself up. Don't feel bad. It's so normal. But it is good to be able to get yourself out of it if the person's not reciprocating, or it's just becoming this cycle that's hurting you and not helping you. You can imagine what their flaws are. You can look for their flaws if you're like stalking them on social media, which you shouldn't do because that fuels your thing. So maybe don't do that, only with the intention of like getting yourself to like break that habit, and just seek out the things that you can write down. Like you could even make a list of their pros and cons and work really hard on those cons. You want to make the cons longer than the pros, and open your eyes. You can ask your best friends to help you too, to be like, help me to stop, help me to think of this person's flaws so that I can break this and see them for who they really are and not who I want them to be. Because we charge up so much the image of who we want someone to be. It's magical, it's magnetic, it's beautiful, but it's not real. So then we're plugging into something that's not the truth. And then fantasizing about it and ultimately setting ourselves up for a letdown, which is probably already happening if you're like, okay, I know this guy's not good for me. I know I need to stop, but I can't stop. So try to work on that. Just try to perceive the flaws and to realize that you could have created him to be someone you would love him to be, but someone he not really, I mean, he might not necessarily be. Catch my drift. So that's all for this little video. I hope that that helps. For more info on Get Him Off Your Mind, just check out gethimoffyourmind.com. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.